Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Youth Gem. We'll begin our session now. We have some fun activities, some fun reading planned today. But right before we begin, I'd just like to start off with a prayer. So the way we do it here is someone will nominate someone else for a prayer, and a third person will second that nomination, and then we'll have someone make a prayer. The prayer format is in the chat now. So would anyone like to make a nomination?
I nominate Shriyan.
Chaitanya Nityanam nominates Shriyan, and I will second that nomination. Shriyan, would you like to make a prayer? The format is in the chat.
Sure. My dear Lord, if you so desire, please let this youth jam program flourish and grow. Thank you for considering my humble prayer.
That's it. Thank you very much. What a nice prayer for our session today. So today we will be starting off with some Chad, which is chapter a day. So Chaitanya Nityanam will lead us in reading a chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. We'll just wait for a second for the slides. Okay, we can see it.
Hare Krishna. Everyone can see it? All right. We'll get started. Since we have a small group, I'll read through the verses, the Sanskrit, and then we'll see about the translations. I think we can take turns reading the translations. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyamyanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase shubhat Rajavidya guhyam pavitram idamuttamam pratyakshavagaman dharmyam susukham kartumavyayam Ashradhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagad Avyaktamurtina Matsthani Sarva Bhutani Nachaham Teshvavastitaha न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतेषु ममात्मा स्फूतभावनः यथाकाशः स्थितो नित्यं वायुः सर्वत्र गो महान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्रामम् इमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतिर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृति सूयते सच्चराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावम् अजानन्तो मम भूतं महेश्वरम् मोघाशमोघकर्माणो मोहज्ञानविचेतसः राक्षसीम् आसुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रितः महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिम् आश्रितः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रतः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते ज्ञानं यज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो माम् उपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विष्णुमुखम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञ स्वदाहम् अहमौषधम् मन्त्रोऽहम् अहमेवाज्यम् अहम् अग्निरहं हुतम् पिताहम् अस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओङ्कार ऋक्साम यजुरेव च गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवास निवासशरणं सुहृत् प्रभवप्रलयस्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम् तपाम्यहमहं वर्षं निघृणाम्युत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसच्चाहमर्जुन त्रैविद्यमां सोमपापूतपाप यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान् ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्वितः तेऽपि माम् एव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु माम् अभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितॄन्यान्ति पितृव्रतः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्य यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयश्यति तदहं भक्त्युपहृतम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः यत्करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोषि ददासि यत् तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम् शुभाशुभफलैरेवं मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनै सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो माम् उपैष्यसि समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम् अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते माम् अनन्यभाक् साधुरेव स मन्तव्यः सम्यग् व्यवसितो हि सः क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति मां हि पार्थ व्यपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यास्तथा शूद्रास्तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिम् किं पुनर्ब्राह्मणा पुण्या भक्ता राजर्षयस्तथा अनित्यम् असुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम् मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यस्य युक्तैत्वम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे राजविद्या राजगुह्य नाम योगो नाम नवमोऽध्यायः Hari Om. All right, so we'll go back to the beginning and start with the translations. If anyone would like to read the translations, please raise your hand and we can get a few volunteers. Be nice. All right, we have Adri Raj. Anyone else would like to volunteer? Okay, Shriyan. How about we'll have each of you read 17 translations. How about that? Okay, wait, I see three more. One more. Avyan. Cool. Vimohi. Awesome. All right. How about each of you read 8 translations? Adriraj, you can start.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence." This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All living beings are in me, but I am not in them. And yet, everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence! Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Understand that as the mighty wind, blowing everywhere, rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will it is annihilated at the end.
Thank you. Shriyan, go ahead.
O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. This material nature is one of my energies, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings, under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Fools deride me when I descend from in the in the human form. They do not know that my transcendental nature is the supreme lord of all that be. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and aesthetic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture knowledge are all defeated. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Um, uh, Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship The Supreme Lord is the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. But it is I whom the ritual, I the sacrifice, I the offering the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter, and the fire and the offering. I'm the father of this universe, the mother, the supporter, and the grandsire. I'm the object of knowledge. I'm the purifier and the syllable Om. I'm also the Rig, the Sama, and the Yajur Vedas.
Thank you, Shriyan. Avyan, go ahead.
I'm the father. Oh, I am the I'm the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the board, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basics, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seed. O Arjuna, I give heat and withhold, and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality, and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking for the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasures, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it.
Thank you, Avyan. Akshita, go ahead.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, and Shudras, can attain the supreme destination. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Engage your mind, always thinking of me, becoming my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Right. Thank you so much, everyone who volunteered to read. We can move on to the next part of our program. I'll hand it off to Adviraj.
Thank you. So we're going to be reading another very short set of shlokas, and this time, instead of the Bhagavad Gita, it will be from the Nectar of Instruction, or the Upadeshamrita. So, has anyone here read the Upadeshamrita before, or part of it? Shriyan, I see you have. That's nice. So we'll be reciting it, and afterwards we can go into one of the verses and read the purport of that verse. So as we read, look out for anything interesting that might stick out to you. So we'll have the verses on the screen shortly. Okay, so just like before, I'll read it, and everyone, while you're muted, you can also read along. And then in the end, we'll pick one verse to dive deeper into. Vacho vegam manasakrodha vegam jihva vegam udaropastha vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dhira sarvam api mam pritivim sashishyat. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha lolyam cha shadbhir bhaktir vinashyati utsahan nischayat dhairyat tat karma pravartanat sangatyagat sato vrite shadbhir bhakti prasidhyati ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यमाख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव षड्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम् कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनविज्ञमनन्यमन्या निन्दादिशून्यहृदमीप्सितसङ्गलब्ध्या दृष्टैस्वभावजनितैर्वपुषश्च दोषैर्न प्राकृतत्वमिह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गङ्गाम्बसां न खलु बुद्बुदपेण पङ्कैर्ब्रह्माद्रवत्वमपगच्छति नीरधर्मै स्यात् कृष्णनामचरितादिसिताप्यविद्या पीतोपतप्तरसनस्य नरोचिकाणु किन्त्वादरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वाद्विक्रमाद्भवति तद्गदमूलहन्त्री तन्नामरूपचरितादिषु कीर्तनानु स्मृत्यो क्रमेण रसना मनसि नियोज्य तिष्ठन् व्रजेतदनुरागी जनानुगामी कालं नयेद किल मित्युपदेशसारम् वैकुण्ठजनितो वरामधुपुरी तत्रापि रासोत्सवाद् वृन्दारण्यमुदारपाणिरमणात् तत्रापि गोवर्धनः राधाकुण्डमिहापि गोकुलपते प्रेमामृतप्लवनात् कुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितटे सेवां विवेकिना कः कर्मिभ्यः परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिं ययुर्ज्ञानिनास्तेभ्यो ज्ञानविमुक्तभक्तिपरमा प्रेमैकनिष्ठस्ततः तेभ्यस्ता पशुपालपङ्कजदृशस्ताभ्योऽपि स राधिका प्रेष्टा तद्वदीयं तदीयसरसि तं नाश्रयेत् का कृतिः कृष्णस्योच्चैः प्रणयावसति प्रेयसीभ्योऽपि राधा कुण्डं चास्या मुनिभिरभितस्तादृगेव व्यधायि यत्पृष्ठैरप्यलाम् असुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजं तत्प्रेमेदं सकृदपि सरस्नातुराविष्करोति श्री उपदेशामृतसम्पूर्णं राधेश्याम. So, would anyone like to pick one verse that they found interesting, or any random verse 1 through 11? Please raise your hand and just say the number of the verse, and then we can go into it. Does anyone have a verse? Shriyan?
I have the verse. I don't. I forget the number of the verse, but I know a bit of the translation of it.
Okay,
It's the one that talks about the candy. It's not sweet. Yeah, that
nice. We'll pull that up. I believe that's Syat Krishna Nama.
yes, Krishnam.
Yeah. Chaitanya Nityanam, could you pull up the purport so that we have,
Oh, sure.
yeah, we'll just read a little bit into this one. And then Shriyan, once it's up, maybe you can read us the verse and the translation.
Okay.
We got a refresher of what it is. Okay, go ahead, Shriyan. Oh, can you pull up the verse? We'll have Shriyan read the verse and then the translation so that we can have a refresher of it, and then we'll go into the purport.
Syat Krishna Nama Charitadisitapya Pittopataptarasanasya Narochikanu Kintvadaradanudinan Kalu Sevachushta Swadikramat Bhavati Tadgadamulahantri. The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet. It is wonderful that by simply chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root.
Thank you. Would anyone like to read the first paragraph of the purport? You can raise your hand. Akshita, you can start with the first one, and everyone else, you can also raise your hands and we'll just continue the purport.
The holy name of Lord Krishna, his quality, pastimes, and so forth are all of the nature of absolute truth, beauty, and bliss. Naturally, they are very sweet like sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. This science, however, is compared to the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretions. Attacked by jaundice, the tongue of a diseased person cannot palatability relish sugar candy. Rather, a person with jaundice considers something sweet to taste very bitter. Avidya, ignorance, similarly perverts the ability to relish the transcendentally palatable name, quality, form, and pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one with great care and attention takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed and his tongue enabled to taste the sweetness of the transcendental nature of Krishna and his paraphernalia. Such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by the regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness.
Thank you. Vimohi, would you like to read the second paragraph?
Sure. Okay. This Krishna consciousness movement is
Oh, sorry.
beginning.
We scrolled down, so you can start with when a man in the material world.
Okay. When a man in the material world takes more interest in the m- ma- ma-
Materialistic.
materialistic way of life than Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in a disease condition. The normal condition is to remain an eternal servant of Lord. I don't know what this is.
Jivera Sarupai Krishnera Nityadas.
Okay, this healthy condition is lost when the living eternity forgets Krishna due to being attracted by external features of Krishna Maya energy. This world of Maya is called Durara, which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in
Durashraya.
Durashraya becomes a candidate for hoping against hope. In the material world, everyone is trying to become happy, and although the material attempts and baffled in every way due to their science, they can't understand their mistakes. People try to
Rectify.
rectify one mistake by making another mistake. This way of struggle for existence in the material world. If one in this condition is advised to take Krishna consciousness and be happy, he doesn't accept such instructions.
Thank you. This is a long purport, so maybe we'll just read a couple more. Avyan, would you like to read the next paragraph?
Yes. This Krishna conscious movement is being spread all over the world just to remedy this gross ignorance. People in general are misled by blind leaders. The leaders of human society, the politicians, philosophers, and scientists are blind because they are not Krishna conscious. According to Bhagavad Gita, because they are bereft of all factual knowledge due to their atheistic way of life, they're actually sinful rascals and are the lowest among men.
Thank you. Chaitanya, would you like to read this next part?
Namam dushkritano mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya pahritadnyana asuram bhavimashrita Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Such people never surrender to Krishna, and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's shelter. When such atheists become leaders of society, the entire atmosphere is surcharged with nescience. In such a condition, people do not become very enthusiastic to receive this Krishna consciousness movement, just as a diseased person suffering from jaundice does not relish the taste of sugar candy. However, one must know that for jaundice, sugar candy is the only specific medicine. Similarly, in the present confused state of humanity, Krishna consciousness, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the only remedy for setting the world aright. Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a diseased person, Srila Rupa Goswami nonetheless advises that if one wants to be cured of the material disease, he must take to it with great care and attention. One begins his treatment by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because by chanting this holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from all misconceptions. Cheto Darpana Marjana. Avidya, a misconception about one's spiritual identity, provides the foundation for ahankara, or false ego within the heart. Should I continue?
You can do one more. We're almost done. I think, yeah.
The real disease is in the heart. If the mind is cleansed, however, if consciousness is cleansed, if the mind is cleansed, however, if consciousness is cleansed, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. To cleanse the mind and heart from all misconceptions, one should take to this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of material existence. I'll read one more, and then I think we have a couple more paragraphs after that. We can finish.
I can read 2 or 3, and then maybe we can have Shriyan finish it off.
Sure. All right, go ahead.
There are 3 stages in chanting the holy name of the Lord: the offensive stage, the stage of lessening offenses, and the pure stage. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if the devotee avoids these, he can glimpse the next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When one attains the pure stage, he is immediately liberated. This is called Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam. As soon as one is liberated from the blazing fire of material existence, he can relish the taste of transcendental life. The conclusion is that in order to get freed from the material disease, one must take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for creating an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. One must begin with faith, and when this faith is increased by chanting, a person can become a member of the society. We are sending Sankirtan parties all over the world, and they are experiencing that even in the remotest part of the world, where there is no knowledge of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra attracts thousands of men to our camp. In some areas, people begin to imitate the devotees by shaving their heads and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra only a few days after hearing the mantra. This may be imitative, but imitation of a good thing is desired. Some imitators gradually become interested in being initiated by the spiritual master and offer themselves for initiation. If one is sincere, he is initiated, and this stage is called bhajana kriya. One then actually engages in the service of the Lord by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds daily and refraining from illicit sex, intoxicants, meat eating, and gambling. By bhajana kriya, one attains freedom from the contamination of materialistic life. He no longer goes to a restaurant or hotel to taste so-called palatable dishes made with meat and onions, nor does he care to smoke or drink tea or coffee. He not only refrains from illicit sex, but avoids sex life entirely, nor is he interested in wasting his time in speculating or gambling. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming cleansed of unwanted things, anartha nivriti. The word anartha refers to unwanted things. Anarthas are vanquished when one becomes attached to the Krishna consciousness movement. Shriyan, would you like to finish it off?
Sure. Is it although Maya?
It's when a person.
Okay. When a person is relieved from unwanted things, becomes fixed in executing his Krishna activities. Indeed, he becomes attached to such activities and experiences ecstasy in executing devotional service. This is called bhava, the preliminary awakening of dormant love of Godhead. Thus, the conditioned soul becomes free from material existence and loses interest in the bodily conception of life, including material opulence, um, material knowledge, and material attraction of all variety. At such a time, one can understand who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is and what his Maya is. Although Maya may be present, it cannot disturb a devotee once he attains the Bhava stage. This is because the devotee can see the real position of Maya. Maya means forgetfulness of Krishna, and forgetfulness is Krishna and Krishna consciousness stand side by side like light and shadow. If one remains in the shadow, he cannot enjoy the facilities offered by light. And if one remains in the light, he cannot be disturbed by the darkness of a shadow. By taking to Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated and remains in the light. Indeed, he doesn't even touch the darkness, as confirmed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andhakara. Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Mayara Adhikara. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of external energy will immediately vanish.
Thank you, Shriyan. So, we hope you found something interesting, and with that, I'll hand it to Chaitanya Nitayanam for the next part, right before we end today's session.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, as Adhira was just pointing out, this was a really nice sloka, I think. In my opinion, I like the idea of diving deep into one of these verses. Every single verse is so packed with so much valuable information that how to become on how to become a devotee and how to progress in bhakti. So thank you, Shriyan, for choosing this one. I also like this verse because of the reference to sugar candy and how we can develop that relishing mindset and attraction for the Mahamantra. So since we have a little bit more time, we can uh, go into a little discussion and just have maybe each of us can share something we liked about what we read or what something we learned, since we all had some experience reading today from the Bhagavad Gita and from the Nectar Instruction. So if anyone would like to volunteer to start and share something they liked or that they learned, or just anything that came to their mind from these readings. Yeah, Dhiraj?
I liked in the purport of the verse that we were reading, it was talking about the three stages of chanting. So I found that very interesting because all of us, either we chant or we have the ability to chant. And so once we start chanting, it can be helpful to look at the three stages and analyze ourselves to help chant better.
Yeah, I think I don't remember which verse it was in the Bhagavad Gita, but I remember one of the purports also mentioning that same topic of devotees naturally being or experiencing progression in the sense that initially they start their chanting at a very surface level, not so much attraction, but just as a duty. And it's rather mechanical, but as said in this purport as well, imitation of a good thing is desired. So eventually, if they develop that attraction for the holy name, then they end up actually progressing to the next stages of uh, being able to chant with more sincerity and purity. So thank you. Vimohi,
I really liked how we like dived into the shloka because I got to learn like so many new things.
did you learn anything particular that you want to share?
No.
What about from the Bhagavad Gita or just any of the other verses you saw in the NOI if you managed to
Mm,
catch a glimpse?
um, I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem. Shriyan, how about you? I mean, you already brought up this verse, but anything particular that drew you were able to draw from either this or Bhagavad Gita reading?
One thing I liked about that verse that kind of like I I had I know this verse I learned the nectar instruction a while ago, and I remember like me and my mom going for a walk and talking about the translation, so that's why it kind of like stuck with me. um so thought like how it's like relating it to something, like an analogy, if you hear listen to a class, analogy like really helps you dig in. And I thought that was a really nice analogy of and yeah.
Yeah, I mean the I mean you see this in English classes or whatever at school maybe if you're later in middle or elementary or middle school, you'll see analogies and metaphors used widely in writing and literature because it's one, as you said, one of the best ways to convey information that people otherwise they might not understand. But if they relate it to world examples that they might actually understand, then it's easier for people to convey whatever message they have. So Prabhupada clearly made so many uses of that throughout all his writing, and that's just a staple of how, devotees, newcomers can understand these scriptures and the value of the Vedic literatures. So that's a good point as well. Thank you. Avya and Akshita, do you guys have anything to share? Something you liked, something you learned, anything you have going on?
I really like the sugar cane example.
Yeah.
Helped me like understand what Prabhupada was trying to say.
Hmm. What about you, Akshita?
Hare Krishna. I really liked when the purport of the verse talked about like how the heart and mind like if you want to cleanse your mind and heart, you should try to get rid of like the unwanted things, or I'm pretty sure it said anartha nivritti if I'm not wrong. And to do so, you should one should try to execute and like practicing devotional services and or like chanting the holy name, which is known as bhava, or like the awakening of we should like try to get closer and closer to Krishna, which will allow us to cleanse our heart and get rid of the unwanted things.
Yeah, brilliant. That was, I mean, the majority of this purport was referencing different components of the Shikshashtakam, the first verse, Chaito Darpanam Arjunam, that relating to, and that shines the light on how significant that verse is in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings as well. But just the value and the importance of chanting Hare Krishna, as Prabhupada also had us chant that during the purport in one of the paragraphs. And every time you come across such a paragraph or uh, line in his purports in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a lot, especially in the eighth chapter. And whenever he does that, I just feel like, we're learning so much about Krishna. So it's really nice that the purports also include a way that you can chant and try it out. People who are maybe never tried it before and were given a Bhagavad Gita or one of these books, Nectar of Instruction, and they get the actual real-time example of why chanting is so purifying and important, and especially in this age of Kali, as Mahaprabhu mentioned. So that's a really good point, and thank you for bringing that up, Lakshita. Have you been to Youth Jam before? I feel like I've seen some new faces here, Vimohi and Akshita.
Yeah, I've joined you before. It's just there was a little gap, but yes, I have joined, but it's been a couple of weeks, but yeah.
What about you, Vimohi? Have you been to Youth Jam before?
So this is my second class in Youth Jam.
Okay, second time. Welcome. Glad to have all of you here. It was a nice session, even though it was really small, but I really liked it personally. We got so much out of it that I usually might not be able to get because of the intimate association with people. Adhiraj, do you have anything, closing remarks or anything, announcements?
That should be it. Thank you, everyone. Next week, Vaisheshika Maharaj, who's usually in charge of these calls, will be back from his travels. So we're hoping to see him. So we hope all of you will join back again. Whether or not he's here, we'll all meet and do some more reading. We might read some stories next time, maybe about Prabhupada, things like that. So we hope to see you guys next week and many more times in the future. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Shriyan, for the prayer and for picking out our verse. It was a very nice little session we had today. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna.